just generalization, because that is not exactly how everything is. That some people actually, religion, again, in the West, a lot of places in the West, religion is actually at the foundation of all those things, you know, that you've seen done. The Judeo-Christian faith was the foundation of the government system, the educational system, the social security or social welfare system, and a lot of things, you know. So even the banking system, a lot of these things were started by ministers or church music and all that. So for me, that's where I differ, that I wouldn't see religion as a drag, that maybe people, or faith in God rather, I wouldn't see it as a drag, that people is a wrong concept.
So you think that,
God.
okay, so you think, Sam is already smiling. I mean, for viewers who are out there, again, I think what you've tried to do here, Sam, and take this as a comment and also a question, what you've tried to do in your book is to get the reader to take personal responsibility of your book, of his or her life. And you argue here that we have created a culture and a society where people do not take personal responsibility for their lives. So, for example, a young student has an exam. He wants to pray and believe God to pass the exam, but he doesn't want to study. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
It is. I look at life as, all of us, as a blank sheet of paper where you write your own story. You live your life the way you want. If you have not done what you're supposed to do, and you are expecting that you get the best result because you have asked God for it, because of your close relationship with God, therefore, everything you ask for, you should get. I disagree. Because when you look around yourself, you find very many successful people who perhaps, I believe in God, who does not even believe in God at all. They know exactly what to do. They go about doing it diligently and getting the desired result. So why should you, now, who do you attribute that success to? And one thing I do have problems with is, I'm not saying every church, but sometimes what is stopping us doing what we're supposed to do to be successful is the fear in us. And some of these fear are generated from things we hear every day, those we associate ourselves with. And oftentimes you go to some of these churches, what you hear is preaching about dealing with the devils in their lives, and oftentimes members of their family. You end up having enemies within your own family, within your own friends. You spend your valuable time trying to fight these evil things in your life rather than focus on those progressive things that will change your life, really.
I know he's a faith man.
Yeah, I've spoken with him. I take that.
He's a faith man. He's a faith man. Now, is this a society where there is an over-reliance on let me rephrase my question. Is this a society where people fail, to do the right things at a very, at a societal level, rather? Let's even forget about individuals make up society now. Yeah. I'm talking about a culture now, a societal way of thinking, an approach, even at a national level, how we approach problems. Power problem, fixing roads, housing, healthcare, education, and so on. Do these issues come to play at those levels?
I agree completely, and like I told Sam earlier, I agree with some of the things you've said, and because they stare us in the face, and we see them regularly.
I am sure you agree with everything.
And I'm sure you agree with everything I said too. But I agree with him to that level. But what for me, it's not so much of a God problem, and it's not so much. And sometimes when you even say it's a church problem, a lot of times people don't understand that if we are not deliberate about it, the church becomes a reflection of the society. The church becomes a reflection of the society in which it is. So, and the way God set up the church is not supposed to become like the society. The society is supposed to reflect the value of the church, which is biblical values. So for me, it's the fact that we have not come to understand on a general scale as people how to integrate faith into everyday life. So you find somebody for the first 2.5 hours or thereabout, or 1 hour, whatever it is, you are in church, you are nice and pious, and your mind, I've settled God for the week. What I do from there has no connection. And
it's not church alone, mind you.
Yes, again,
We've got mosques, and we've got
yeah, and that's why I said we need to see it as a cultural thing.
Are you saying here that people should not be religious at all and take personal responsibility for the way that they build their societies?
What I'm saying in effect is this. Let us accept that God has created all of us equally, gifted equally but differently. If you as an individual fail to use your own talent or gift, then you will remain the way you are, like a blank sheet of paper.
No matter how religious you are.
No matter how religious you are. It's as simple as that. I see life as a bank account. What you put in is what you take out. Many people may not agree with me, but I am sure that if you practice, for example, a lot of people are gifted, but that is not a guarantee for success. Unless you work hard using that gift. Otherwise, nothing is going to change in your life.
But I think the crux of the conversation is, I think it's very clear. Take personal responsibility, yes, and collective responsibility, yes, and then you can develop your society, your nation, and then your own life as an individual.
Yes,
that's
the key.
God, faith, and reality.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Sam. Thanks,
it's my pleasure.
Thanks, Nii, for joining us on the Channel.
Thanks you, Sam.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.